to-be mom. I wanted to talk today about healthy choices. We're going to talk about 5 things that we can do to help us on our health journey. And because I am focusing on losing weight, that's what we're going to focus on today. It's important to remember that it is a long-term thing, that when you have a large amount of weight to lose, that you should be patient and take your time. A lot of times when you first get started with whatever method you're going to use, that you might lose a lot in the first week or 2, and then it should slow down 1 or 2 pounds per week. And what I'm doing as I go along in my journey is I want to share it with you. I want to do this for 2 reasons. The first one is that it will help keep me accountable. If I know you guys know what's going on, that helps me to be motivated. That way you can share in the comments about your health journey. Here's what I have. I made a chart. And I know it's not super fancy pretty, but I kind of like this kind of stuff. Yeah, you can tell I like kids. So I'm gonna mark off as I lose weight. And what this is gonna mean, since it's a slow rate, is that sometimes I might only put a little line there. Sometimes I might color in the whole thing. Sometimes I'll show you this week to week, and sometimes I'll show you it every other week. But I'm gonna show you this, and I'm gonna show you how I fill it in. Sometimes we'll fill it in together. But I wanted to show you, this is my accountability chart for you. So today I have some tips, 5 tips that as I have looked at things and studied and thought about things and learned, whatever method you choose to use, these will work for you. The first one is the most important, is to have a healthy mindset. That is the most important thing. And that is a couple of different things. First of all, you need to be aware, and in my little silly thing that I showed you in the beginning, I'm gonna show you these again because these are so important. You are beautiful, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. You wanna make choices to show love to others, and you are worthy of love, no matter what you look like. You are beautiful and worthy of love. As people, we have the gift of being beautiful just as we are, because God made us that way. And we can choose to obey Him and walk in Him. And that is even more beautiful, because when you're showing love to other people, that's the most beautiful thing that you can do. In this world, that's what we need. But that's just one part of it. It's important to remember that about yourself, that you have the power to give others love because you are wonderful and beautiful. But it's also important to learn as you go, what is it that makes you want to make choices that aren't healthy or have no motivation for doing some of these other steps. What is it that's doing that? And you have to think about it, because what happens is, and I saw another lady do a video on this, and she was very honest and so sweet with that. And it's true, what she said, it's true, is sometimes food and sugar can be an addiction. And when you get rid of that, you discover that sometimes maybe there was something else going on that you didn't know, and that comes right up to the surface, and it's scary, because before you were hiding it. You were hiding, and those of us with weight loss issues, we hide it under food or not eating enough or whatever it is. But once you remove that, then you have to look the problem right in the face, and sometimes you can let that be healthy. So while you're walking through this, find a friend that you trust who will support you, so that when that time comes, when you go, oh, that's why I started eating all that sugar, then you can talk to them and say, look, here's what I found out. I didn't realize how upset I was at so-and-so, who hurt me all those years ago, or whatever it is that is your issue. and I need to figure out how to move past that. And a lot of times you have to trust that you're okay, that what they said or what they did is less important than remembering that you have the power to love because you're beautiful. And so you can do that. So that's point number one. Point number two is we want to do some healthy movement. Now, let me say this. I started with the point number one because it is absolutely the most important. The rest of these are not in any particular order. But number one, that is most important for anything you're doing. But we're talking about healthy eating and weight loss here. So we're gonna do those kind of focuses. Healthy movement is helpful no matter who you are. And that can be anything. If you like to silly dance around your living room, maybe you like to ride bikes. Go ride a bike every day, 15 minutes. If you like to go for a walk, go for a walk. Maybe you feel like you want to try running. Go slow. Go ahead and run a little, jog a little, walk a little, jog a little, walk a little. Maybe you just like jumping up and down like a crazy person. Maybe you like doing calisthenic kinds of things and it's fun for you to, do jumping jacks and run in place, and that just set a little timer and do that. Maybe you like going to the gym or you've never thought about it. Sometimes when you go to the gym, if you see somebody using a machine and you're not quite sure how it works or what part of your body it helps, if you ask a couple questions, somebody who's been there a while can say, oh yeah, sure, let me help you. So don't be afraid of that. If you want to try that, you go try that because you're beautiful just as you are. The next one, number three, is healthy choices. Now, mostly I'm talking about eating, but this applies to a lot of different things, so you can kind of think about that. But what we're talking about is food. Now, in the little glip thing I chose, I had whole grain, the little Nutri-Grain type bar, and then I had an apple, and I chose the apple instead of the Nutri-Grain bar. And then I had chips, and then I had little carrot chips, and I chose the carrot chips over the regular chips. Well, and that's just to make a cute, silly video. But to be perfectly honest, sometimes it boils down to whole wheat bread instead of white bread. Sometimes it's having water or infused water, not flavored, because there's sometimes artificial stuff, but infused water instead of orange juice. Those kind of choices. And you want to think about that because sometimes making those little changes makes a big difference on the other end as far as calories go and what kind of healthy things you put into your body. We eat because our body needs good fuel. If you're putting good fuel in, whole grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, healthy fats, if you're putting these things in, your body is happy. It likes working. It likes using that. And so you're giving your body a good chance. If you put Twinkies in all the time and potato chips all the time and drinking sodas and lots of, even fruit juice has a lot of sugar in it if you're drinking that all the time, and sweetened tea, these things kind of slow you down. They might give you quick energy at first, but then they kind of drop you off because there's nothing there for your body to grab onto and pull those nutrients from and use. So that's what we talk about with healthy choices. The next one we had was healthy water, and that's pretty basic. The basic rule of thumb is you take your weight, you cut that in half, and that's the aim. That's the amount of ounces you tried to do. I find it easier to break it down in like bottles of water that are 16, 20 ounce bottles of water to know how many bottles of water to drink. I know somebody who was trying to drink more water, and so she would fill up the certain amount containers and have them available, ready for her. She'd finish one, she'd grab another, and she knew she'd had enough water because she would do that all throughout the day. You basically want to just aim to drink as much water. Now, I don't always get in the amount that I need. Sometimes I get maybe 20 ounces less, which is like 1 water bottle less than I need. And so I'll make sure I have some in bed at night and drink a little bit of water, even if I have to get up in the middle of the night. But that will help you. And water means water. If you drink hot tea, you can't count the ounces. I'm gonna say this. I think infused water still counts as water. Seltzer water, but anything that's just water, you're not putting any powders in it, you're not mixing it with anything, you're not making coffee out of it, you're not doing anything. We're not talking about calories here, we're talking about water. So you can certainly have, sometimes having a little soda will help if you have a sweet tooth and you just need to satisfy your sweet tooth. Sometimes it helps with that, but it can't count for water. So you want water. The last one is healthy weigh-in. And here's what I mean by that. I mean, you don't want to weigh in too often because it gets discouraging because you only see it in like ounces, and sometimes it doesn't go very fast. It's very discouraging. But what's generally recommended is once a week. And if you can hold off once every other week, you might see progress a little faster. And that's fine. As we get older, it's very important to weigh every day. I want to say if you're over 60 or 65 especially, because sometimes your body changes and you're accidentally adding water weight that you don't know. And so if you weigh one day and then the next day you've gained 3 pounds, you need to contact your doctor because that's not fat. That's water. And you want to say, oh dear, why am I keeping all this water? That's not, oh, you're trying to eat healthy. No, that's a medical issue that you need to talk to your doctor and get advice for. And you might need some medicine to help you get some of that water off because it will hurt you just as much, especially if you notice you're achy, because that water gets in there and pushes against your organs and things, and it can hurt you. So if you're noticing you're gaining weight really fast like that, don't start panicking about oh my gosh, I'm not eating the right way. No. Call your doctor, check it out. Okay? So there we go. So we're gonna be on this journey together, and I'm very excited, and I'm so glad that you can do this with me. So if you wanna be part of us, subscribe. And I, again, wanna hear comments about how your journey's going, and if this is a helpful video for you, please like it because that helps me out too. And I will see you again. Thank you.